What's up, everybody? My name is Quatez, and welcome back to Man-Made Thoughts. So, I'm a little late to the party. I got these comics a little bit ago, and everybody was just raving, and they were saying good things about them. So, I decided to jump in because, there's a lot of Spider-Man books out there on the market. A lot of Spider-Man books on the market. But apparently, this one is actually a good one. This is Spider Man Life Story number one. And basically, the premise of this book is that it goes through Peter Parker's life through the ages. So it starts in the 60s and it goes all the way until 2019. This is actually the third printing. This is written by Chip Zdarsky, and they got my boy, the all-time great Mark Bagley on the pencils for this thing. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Mark Bagley, by the way, is definitely probably the GOAT of Spider-Man. So anyway, how you start a comic off, or how you want to start it off, is you want to start it off with cool. It actually recaps you. It doesn't give you a boring, just like static page. Well, I guess it does. It starts off with a static page about 1962, 15-year-old Peter Parker, yada yada. But this is how you should start a comic off, with something cool, something actiony. And I don't even mind that this panel right here by Mark Bagley, he uses that every single Spider-Man story that I've ever read that he draws. He used that exact same panel. But you know what? He just does it so well. He does Spider-Man well. So this issue, we started off in the good old 1966. And basically, Peter is trying to figure, like the crux of this issue is that Peter's trying to figure out, should he actually go to war in Vietnam, or should he stay in New York and do his part as Spider-Man there? Um, it's simple, but it works. It's very, very effective. Like the beats and the emotional things, they actually hit well. And one of the cool things about this story is they actually talk like they're in the era. Like they actually talk like they are in the 60s. Like for instance, Harry talking to Peter and Peter talking to Harry. What's the word, Harry? Same as it ever was, pal. My car broke down, late for bio. Unbelievable. And like I said, I don't mind that Mark Bagley reuses his own designs for, I mean, this Norman Osborn design is straight out of Ultimate Spider-Man, but like I said, he's my favorite. Like, I'm a simple guy. He draws Spider-Man, I buy that Spider-Man comic. It is what it is. So anyway, we're introduced to Norman Osborn. We're set up to know that Norman Osborn is actually going to, um, he knows something about Peter, just by these images. And the great thing about Mark Bagley is that he can tell a whole story without actually like he doesn't need words to tell his story. And, like just simple scenes like this, it lets you see that there's something more going on between Peter and Gwen, which this is also a reused design from Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm sorry, you know. But anyway, so he's late for school, as if I don't want to get a copy strike. But this I found interesting right here. Um, so the news comes on, and they get a whiff of it, and it's Iron Man, basically. So the news is saying, without Iron Man at the scene of the battle, the presence of industrialist Tony Stark's personal bodyguard has bolstered the troops and given rise to many questions at home with the recent surge of American superheroes. Should anyone exhibiting abilities beyond the average person be automatically drafted? And Peter, he does what he does. He has his internal monologues, and he tries to feel a certain way, because the whole thing is, I'm doing good as Spider-Man here, but um, try not to get copy strike. But I'm doing good as Spider-Man here, but I could probably potentially do more good as Spider-Man overseas, or at least as Peter Parker with spider powers overseas. So he's trying to figure out what would my hero do. His hero, of course, being Captain America. He's trying to figure out what Cap would do. So, um, lo and behold, they find out that Flash Thompson has joined the military, and today is his going away party. Shazam. And I didn't really have any problem with this because he's really wearing the pickle suit. It looks good on him. The problem that I had, and it's not a ding against Mark Bagley, but the problem that I had was this right here. You see this? Let me let the camera focus a little bit more. He has a deployment patch already, yet he's supposed to be going away for the first time to Vietnam to deploy. Number one, he's a private. He has a patch right here, but he has no unit. Small little nitpicks. It's okay, because most of the target customers are probably not military. And anyway, Peter decides to get into it with Flash. Flash is just doing his thing. He's just doing his thing, like literally. He's trying to get some play. Can you really fault him? I mean, look at this. Could be a long time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you might want to give me some of them cheeks. Like he doesn't know if he's gonna die. I think that's a really, really. I think that's a human thing. He wants to get some play before he dies. Vietnam historically was not a good time for American troops. It just wasn't, because no one knew who was the enemy, and him trying to get some play, and then Peter just happens to ruin it. You know, and he explains, he goes and he apologizes and everything, and Flash is just like, you know what? Even though my dad had PTSD when he came back and everything, that's irrelevant, because I'm only doing this because, shocker, I'm a Spider-Man fan. So, then Peter decides, okay, well, I don't know what to say. I'm making a positive influence, and I talk about this a lot, but I always talk about the great man theory, where essentially it's basically a great man will inspire other people even when they're not trying to, as long as they do great acts of goodness and greatness. They can inspire one person somewhere else, and that person will go somewhere else, and then they'll inspire someone else. And it's a leadership theory that I personally believe in, the great man theory. It's literally everywhere. And lo and behold, so Norman Osborn, he tracks him down at this going away party, and they fight on the rooftop. And very great art. I mean, some flashy stuff from Mark Bagley. Mark Bagley's at the top of his game in this one. So anyway, Peter goes and he sees Captain America, and he thinks that he's helping him. He's really not doing anything. He goes to Cap, tries to get a pep talk, and Cap is like, look, I know what I'm going to do, because I'm an American and I feel like I have a responsibility to American people, so I'm going to take care of my people. So anyway, Peter's late as usual. That's his running thing. He's always late for whatever he is doing, and he misses Flash's train. But this panel right here, just like this page, it tells a whole story with you wouldn't have to have any words here. I remember some interviews with Brian Michael Bendis, and he would say whenever he sent Mark Bagley a script, sometimes it would have a bunch of writing and a bunch of talking and a bunch of dialogue in it, and Mark would just like send a page, and literally he'd be like, well, there goes my script. So because his art style and his like the placement and the posing of these characters was just so, they were so, I don't even know what the word is, but they were just rightly placed, and he didn't need to use so many words because his artist could back up and tell the story, which means your artist has a good sense of storytelling. So you don't have to try to show instead of, tell when you can show. That's one of the common themes of comic books is show, don't tell. And a lot of people try to tell and show, but if you have a great artist with you and a good sense of storytelling, you get stuff like this, where you know she's figured out something. She figures out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and then they have this relative distance between them with no words. So you know it's a shocker. What she just found out, it's like time has stopped. When I first read this, I was like, this is good stuff, man. Like, this is a good story. So anyway, I highly recommend this. Go out and get it. If you can still find it, go out and get it. The only one that I'm actually missing in this set is Life Story number 2. But this is a great, great, great story. It's one of those comics I can come back to and read over and over and over and over again. It's that good. Chip Zdarsky did a very good job on writing this book. He made Peter into a hero, which is surprisingly hard to do these days, because with there being a war on Spider-Man and his sexuality, it's a nice refreshing pace to just see a hero who is unsure about being a hero but knows he wants to be a hero because it's the right thing to do. But anyway, thank you guys for sitting through my video. Make sure you hit that little bell icon, and if you can subscribe, that would be nice. Gives me the willpower to keep on going, make videos like this, go all the way down to my local comic book shop and get some cool comics. But anyway, if you like what you see or not, just leave me a comment down below. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and whatever else. I will see y'all next time. Peace out.